announcement. So here we are to fact check live Kamala Harris's speech that she just gave minutes ago in Georgia. We're going to actually watch big chunks of this speech right now and unpack what the vice president, the sitting vice president, said as she is campaigning on the right to kill a human being, a baby in the womb. So let's start. This is, again, just happened a few minutes ago for those that are tuning in now. I'll also be keeping an eye on the chat as this is a YouTube live. We're going to be posting this on podcast later, or we're going to special live just to comment on really an unprecedented speech that a presidential candidate is giving specifically on abortion, making this the lead issue in their campaign. And that's what Kamala Harris just did minutes ago. All right, we're going to pull up the speech here and we'll start at the beginning.
And thank you all of the elected community leaders who have joined us today. Thank you, everybody who is here. So, this election right here is a fight for the future. It is a fight for the future, and it is a fight for freedom. For freedom. And we know in America, freedom is not to be given, it is not to be bestowed, it is ours by right. It is ours by right.
We have to first point out here the word freedom, the words we have the right, it's not given to us, it's our right, we have it. What about the freedom, the human lives that are at the heart of this debate? The children that are conceived, that are real, they're not fiction, this is not an imaginary thing. When you're pregnant with a human life, a new human life, a developing life. What about the freedom? What about the human rights for that new developing life? Of course, the cheers and the rhetoric here coming from Kamala Harris in no way acknowledges even their existence. This, my friends, is the ultimate gaslighting of the American public. Let's keep watching.
And in their face, for deeply held beliefs to agree the government should not be telling her what to do. If she chooses, she will talk with her pastor, her priest, her rabbi, her imam. But it should not be the government or Donald Trump telling her what to do with her body. And think about it.
We're going to pause here for a moment. This rhetoric is so deceptive. The government should not be telling her what to do with her body. What is she talking about here? She's not talking about treatment for a miscarriage. She's not talking about care for your pregnancy. She's not talking about deciding whether or not to have a baby. She's talking about human beings that have already been conceived, human lives, children, human beings. And she's saying that the government doesn't have the right to tell you what to do with your body. It's not your body anymore alone when you're pregnant. There's another body.
Exactly.
There's another human life.
Exactly.
And of course, our government, it's their responsibility to protect the fundamental human right to live, to life. If there's a situation where a child is being abused, harmed, if there's a situation where, God forbid, a child's life is at risk, it is the responsibility of authorities to intervene and to protect that life. There is not a right to kill. There is a right to live. And the pro-life case is very simple. Our position is very simple. We know the science shows us that before birth, there is a human life. This is not human life magically appears at birth. Science shows us that at the moment of fertilization, a new individual, unique human life comes into existence. That human life needs time and nourishment to grow safely in the place that they're designed to grow in, and in their mother's womb. And if you don't interrupt that process, if you don't go in and destroy that child will live and can thrive. That is the fundamental reality of how we all came into life, into being. We all came into being because we were dependent completely on people that were bigger and stronger than us, on our parents. All of us come into the world this way. And just because a person, an adult, a parent, is stronger and bigger than a child doesn't mean that that adult has the right to kill that child or to harm that child. We all know this. We know this about born children. This applies to children before birth too. There is no moral distinction between a child after birth and before birth. They are the same human being. And abortion is black and white. It kills a child. It's a matter of life or death for that child. Of course, this is never mentioned. I've already listened through this speech, and we're listening again here. There's parts that we're going to be listening in this slide. This is never mentioned by Kamala Harris. Not once. Imagine that. In a speech, 30 minutes, about abortion, Kamala Harris never once defines what abortion is. She never once acknowledges abortion involves not just the life of a mother, but the life of a child. And in the process, there's a tremendous amount of misinformation and fear mongering that Kamala Harris makes about abortion. But look at what she said just here too. She said,